Brothers, EA released 3 brand new golden tickets today, and we are going to be doing a first impressions review of the brand new Brian Dawkins in Madden Ultimate Team. So we're going to have 4 different categories, be ranking them. Now, the first category is going to be overall, how good is this card in terms of what you need him to be able to do. Now, this is going to be literally not comparing him to any other card, but just solely comparing him with the state of the game and who he'll be facing on the other side of the ball in comparison to what you need from that position. Alright, he's playing free safety, so we're using it what we need from free safety. The second thing we're going to be judging is going to be, how does he fit into a theme team? Is he good for a theme team? Is he what you want for a theme team? Okay, the third thing is going to be comparing him to the next best players at his position to see how he stacks up and if he is the most logical choice for the best player at the position if you could choose out of any of them. And then the fourth and final thing is going to be his card art. We are going to be ranking his card art. Now, all of these are going to be out of 5 points, and we will tally it up for a final score at the end, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to get a full gauge of how good this card really is. So we got Dawkins pulled up right here, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys do hit that like button right now. Go down and hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon to get notified as soon as I be uploading these videos. I am a huge fan of doing these player reviews. I want to keep doing them. Obviously, the content's dying out right now for Madden 21, or for Madden 20 rather, but Madden 21 we're going to be going all year with this. Alright, so if you enjoy this, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. So, getting into Dawkins, B-Dawk stats right here. Alright, it's gonna look pretty good. You know, the first category is how he ranks up in comparison to what you want from this free safety position. And I mean, we have 96 speed right here, which it chemmed up. It's gonna be 99. You know, this you know, you can't get better. You can't get better. 83 strength. I don't care a whole lot about that. 94 agility is cool. 94 excels cool. I wish both of these were a little bit higher. I can't lie. I wish these were a little bit higher. I would like to see him closer. I like to see him around 96. I really would. I really would like to see him 96. I like to see him right here with the speed. It's not the end of the world. You know, it's not that terrible. Speed, you know, overrules acceleration and agility, in my opinion. But I would like to see those a little bit higher. 98 awareness is great. 82 catching is cool. 93 jump is good. And then obviously 99 stamina, 99, or 95 injury, not really huge deals. The offensive stats, obviously we're going to skip right down. And to defense, 93 tackling is good. That's very good. And the 99 hit power, you can't get any better. That's going to come in really big here in a second when we get over to his traits. Now, obviously, pass rushing moves, we don't care about these right here at all. 85 block shed, that's cool, especially coming from a safety. That's real nice. And that 98 pursuit with 98 play rec. These will be great. These are very, very good. He's going to be able to, what this is going to mean is a lot of times, especially backside, if you can envision him right now on the left side, at the left side free safety, when the offense is running a stretch to the right, that means he's going to do a great job of actually pursuing backside and actually be able to get himself into the play, which obviously, as you guys know, is a huge issue this year. So that right there is absolutely surreal. It's great. Like, that right there is really, really good. That 91 man coverage, that could be a lot better. That could be better in terms of just overall player, but from a safety position, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. 91 man coverage, obviously, you know, it is going to be hitting the thresholds for us, and we're not really playing a whole lot of man coverage with our safeties anyways, especially considering, I mean, 91 press is really, really good, but once again, we don't care that much about those two stats for our safeties so much, just because, you know, when they're playing so high, that man coverage rating doesn't come into effect as much as if they were pressed on the receiver, as you guys already know. And of course, the 97 zone coverage, which is going to get buffed up to 99 after you guys get them juiced up correctly. That's really, really good. This guy's going to make a lot of good plays for you. And going into his overview, what's important to note here is his traits, and we're going to see him right here. We're going to go through these one by one. Clutch is yes, which is very, very important when it comes to the fourth quarter. He's going to, basically this means that when he gets a chance for a tip pick, he's going to hold, or he's going to actually catch it. When he gets a chance to break up some balls after, you know, hitting someone as soon as they catch it, he's going to get an increased chance to actually bat that shit loose. So high motor is another good thing. This one, people debate whether or not it's, you know, it matters or not, but it's good to see yes there regardless if it doesn't, even if, you know, it might not matter. Better than no. All right, obviously linebacker style, D-line moves don't really matter. Big hitter, yes, that's huge. The CPU is gonna be laying big hits with 99 hit power. That's absolutely freaking great. And then the strips ball, yes, that is going to be very, very big as well, just because it's going to be the CPU going for strips that you won't have to click onto. So I mean, that's going to be very, very helpful in that. All right, and then the last thing that's super, super good is this plays ball in air aggressive. This is going to be a lot of times, this is going to help keep him from going for the natural SWAT animation. It's going to be having him attack the ball a lot more than if it was conservative, than if it was balanced. This is a very, very important trait for DBs to have. I know a lot of competitive players who only will put DBs on their field who have this plays ball in air trait aggressive. Okay, so in terms of overall, what are we thinking for his overall rating out of 5? I gotta give him a 4.5, and the only reason I gotta give him a 4.5 is because I wish the acceleration and agility were just slightly higher. But besides that, this guy is literally everything you could want. He's also 6 foot. You know, it'd be cool to see him. Obviously, he's only 6 foot in real life. A taller DB would be cool. You know, like Calvin 6'5". That makes him very, very, very good. You know, 6 foot though, it's not like it's a bad height. So overall answer is gonna be 4.5 on this, and that is he is off to a great start. So next on our list, the thing we're going to be talking about is going to be how he compares in terms of theme team for you Eagles users out there, along with the Broncos. He will be getting the Broncos team cam. He played with them for the final 3 years of his career. And for the Eagles, he's going to absolutely blow his former card, the next best free safety, out of the water. You're going to see we have +2 speed. Literally everything is going to be better, and it's by a decent margin. You know, this +2 speed is huge. The acceleration and agility is huge, having +2 here in all these categories. And on defense, once again, like, these are big stats of just to have that improvement on, especially look at the block shed. It goes from 85 to 77. That's absolutely huge. Okay, I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it, just because I think it's very, very obvious that this card does blow his former card out of the water. So the first comparison we're going to be doing is going to be B-Dogs against Ronnie Lott, which is one of the other really good players at this free safety position. Now, as you see, obviously they're both 99 overall. They're within 1 cap of each other. But getting to the actual stats, this is where things are going to get more interesting, where Brian Dawkins does have a +1 speed on him, although he is -3 in terms of agility and acceleration. And to be honest with you, in terms of these 3 stats right here, agility, acceleration, and speed, I have to favor Ronnie Lott just because of all the extra chems you're going to be able to get both of these guys up to 99 speed. This acceleration and agility is where the difference is going to come up, and honestly, Ronnie Lott is going to have that victory right there. So immediately, Ronnie Lott jumps out to a better start. Now, going to some of the other stats, now once again, jumping, Ronnie Lott has an advantage here. Catching, he even has an advantage, which I'm not really a huge fan of that stat. I don't really care too much about it for DBs. That is something he has an advantage on as well. Going to defense, tackling, Ronnie Lott does have a +3. In power move and finesse move, I don't really care about those. Block shedding, basically the same, not really going to make any kind of point there. Pursuit and play rec, even though these are very small disadvantages for Ronnie Lott, these do bring up Brian Dawkins' value quite a bit, just because of the fact with how bad pursuit angles and play recognition is in this game, well, especially pursuit angles rather. This extra 1 pursuit angle really could end up being the difference. If you guys really get into the nitty and gritty of a game, this really could end up being the difference. So this is something to think about in terms of Brian Dawkins being a run stopper. Now, going into man coverage, they have exactly the same, and zone coverage basically essentially the same as well. So getting to the real, you know, who's better in terms of this, quite honestly, Ronnie Lott has the edge just by a little bit. Brian Dawkins, he's obviously still very good, but Ronnie Lott does have a little bit of advantage. But now that we're done with Ronnie Lott, let's compare Brian Dawkins to another one of his golden tickets. So we have golden ticket Calvin right here, obviously another free safety. The cap's within about 3, and we're gonna see that Calvin's going to win in these 3 main categories in terms of just physical traits and speed, agility, and acceleration. He's gonna win by minor margins, but it's still worth noting. Catching, again, he wins, and jumping, he wins by 6, and this is extra huge due to the fact that he is actually 6'5", so this huge height advantage plus a jump advantage is going to give Calvin the chance to get balls that Brian Dawkins just will not be able to get anyways. So going into defense, Brian Dawkins kind of takes the victory here by quite a bit. Tackling, it doesn't matter that much because of how high Dawkins' tackling is at 93. It doesn't really matter that much to me. Hit power, he has it. He wins. Obviously, these 2 don't matter. Block shedding, Dawkins gonna win. Pursuit and play rec, 2 big ones. Dawkins gonna win by a lot. Man coverage, Dawkins wins by 6, and that is over the 90 threshold, which is huge. And zone coverage, this isn't gonna matter a whole lot because after you come up, they're gonna get to 99 anyways. So Dawkins, in my opinion, does actually win this, even though the speed's a little bit not quite there. You know, these physical traits just aren't quite there. I think Dawkins is going to win this if you're not usering him. If you're looking for a user, Calvin Johnson is going to be your guy, and because you can get lurker and acrobat on Calvin Johnson, it's going to be absolutely insane in terms of what you're able to do with Calvin compared to Brian Dawkins. Not to say Brian Dawkins is a bad user, he's by no means a bad user. It's just Calvin Johnson is just so far ahead of him that it really just doesn't make sense to be using someone like Brian Dawkins if you have Calvin Johnson available to you. All right, so for that reason, I'm probably gonna give Brian Dawkins about I'd say a 3.5 in comparison to some of the best others, because there are a lot of cards. Most of the cards he is better than. It's just these very, very, very top of the line cards. He's just a little bit worse than in certain areas. So once again, it's gonna be a 3.5. Now the final category is of course his card art, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a huge fan of Brian Dawkins' card art, how he is. Now, I'm not a huge fan of some of the other golden tickets. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just crazy for it, but I do like Brian Dawkins is how it's not super fadey. Like if you look at some of the other ones, I feel like they're just really like fadey. Like look at Michael Vick, for example. I'm not a huge fan of how just like faded out he looks. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for that. Please don't roast me in the comments for that. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm looking at some others right here. I'm a fan of Anthony Barrs, but Brian Dawkins I am a big fan of for some reason. I really do like, he seems to pop a lot more than like a Michael Vick does for whatever reason. What are some other ones I don't really like? There was like the Keith Bullock is another one who I'm just not a big fan of this Keith Bullock card art. I'm just not. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. Adrian Peterson, AP, I'm a huge fan of, but yeah, no. Brian Dawkins in comparison to some of the others, big fan of it. I'll throw it a, because I'm not like absolutely in love with it though, throw it a 4.5. And that's going to bring Brian Dawkins' final score to a 17.5 out of 20. And honestly, that's a very, very good score. Now, there's a couple people who you could use for other reasons above him. Ronnie Lott, I think, is a little bit better overall. Calvin's a better user. But I mean, this Brian Dawkins is a super good card. If you're using an Eagles theme team, he's absolutely surreal. So, with that being said, guys, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all next time.